Well, hello, and welcome back. I'm AJ O'Neill. I'm live at work, and what I'm working on is deploying stuff to DigitalOcean. So when we do a git push, it goes to DigitalOcean. That's the goal. And let me go ahead and make this smaller. Where we left off is basically I've got DigitalOcean. I've got an instance created on DigitalOcean. Hold on here. Keyboard was getting a little dusty. And we're going to tie up the domain. We're going to get we've got the DigitalOcean deploy going. We've already got the scripts to deploy the code. That's all well and good. And then we need to get the domain updated in this same script that's doing the DigitalOcean updates. And then we're going to marry it all together. And that's going to be the good news tonight. Now, with that said, before we get started, let's have a word from our sponsor, but not really our sponsor, Mr. Mountain Dew. It is time to pop top, my friends, and open focus. But instead of guzzling it straight down, I have here some Mr. Palm Wonderful Pomegranate. And it turns out the two play nicely together quite well. Uh-oh. No. Don't bubble. Okay, I put a little too much Mr. Pomegranate in here. It's okay. We'll work through it. Okay. I brushed my teeth too recently. Poor choice. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get to it. And by the way, hello to those of you that are joining in. Well, as I said, I'm AJ. I would love to know who you are, what brings you here to the channel today. All right. So I've got a folder called DOBot where I've been working on this script. And let's see. And I've got a .env file in here. I'll show you what that looks like in just a second, except I won't show you the real env file because, you know, the obvious reasons. I'll do example.env, and we'll pop this in like so, like that, because that's our business. All right, and then we're going to need... Unfortunately, I do not condone the use of Godaddy, but for legacy reasons, we happen to be using it. So let me go ahead. I'm going to bring this over. And we're going to see what we need to do. You will need an API key and secret. I'm guessing maybe if I'm going to try this out in the other window here. I'm kind of sort of hoping that if I just log in and I go to this URL, that it's going to be the place where I get my keys. Let's see what it says. It says developer.godaddy.com/keys. So I'm hoping that that's not documentation, that that's actually where you get your keys. And indeed it is. Excellent. So I'm going to create a new API key. Let's see. I got to put in my two-step verification here. Just one second. Where's Godaddy? Probably down at the bottom. There we are. Okay. 836920. There we go. All right. So I'm going to generate new API key, and we're going to call this, I'm just going to call it Git Deploy. Environment, OTE, or production. I'm going to go ahead and go with production. Copy the secret now. We won't display it again. Okay, let me go bring this over, and then I'll show you my sorry, just one secret. It's a secret. Just one secret. Just 1 second, friends. As I copy and paste this over here. And then I'll show you what the example env file looks like. It's nothing special. There's nothing really that interesting about it. Okay. So I'll open up example.env. So we've got GoDaddy API key, GoDaddy API secret, DigitalOcean token. We also got some Cloudflare stuff going on. But the dev domains are not on Cloudflare. They are only on GoDaddy. So, cool. All right, that looks good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the GoDaddy documentation. So ideally what we want to do is be able to list domains and then be able to update domains. And I actually quite like the way that they've got their API laid out. So hello, let's see, how do I pronounce this? Bilgun? Had to look a little closer because L's and I's look about the same on this monitor with the, well, maybe if I take my glasses off, I'd be better off for things that are close up. But yeah, in that font, it's a little hard to tell. Anyway, so Bilgun, can you, that seems kind of like a strange question from your perspective. What is the meaning of life? For a code channel anyway. But before I answer that, because I'm happy to go off on tangents, prove to me that you are not a bot, or is this a raid thing? I don't really get Twitch. I'm going to go with 42. Actually, that would be incorrect. That would be the answer to the question of the meaning of life, the universe, and everything, not actually the meaning itself. But anyway, let's engage a little bit first. Tell me a little bit about who you are, what brings you to the channel today, and I will consider answering that more seriously. Or more jovially, I don't know. I guess maybe I should be able to just rattle off, what is the meaning of life? I think the meaning of life is to become a better person. Okay, well, it's not that I'm worried about it. It's just that it catches me off guard. I don't know where it's going. So, for example, a little bit ago, I didn't understand this thing about raids with Twitch. But a little bit ago, I was on candid camera, and for all I know, that's what this is again, which is fine. I'm broadcasting to the world anyway. But they were asking me questions I didn't quite understand where it was going, and then it was basically, I think it was actually a radio show, a terrestrial radio show, as in the kind of one that you listen to in your car, but they are also doing an online thing. Anyway, let me bring this developer documentation over here. But I'd say the meaning of life is to become a better person, to learn, to be happy, to be full of light. Now, I'm a grumpy person, so I'm failing pretty bad at the meaning of life. But I think that that's the meaning of life. Life is both more valuable and less important, I think, than we generally give it credit for. By more valuable, I mean that the actual purpose of it, I believe, has significance. But also life is really not, I don't know how to say this appropriately because it'll always come out wrong, but life comes and goes, and that's the natural order of things. And that's okay. We don't need everyone to live forever. And bad things happen, and this is okay, because the point of life is not to live as long as you possibly can. It's simply to... You get as many chances as you need, and then you die. Yeah, I could see how that would be really interesting. I think I used to people watch, meaning I would go sit on a bench and watch people in the mall back when malls were a thing. Or I would, when I was at school, sometimes I would just watch people interact. And so I could see how with the environment where you have Twitch and YouTube and all that, it would be interesting just to kind of pop in and ask people. So how about you? What is the meaning of life for you? Yeah, death is what gives life meaning. I do agree with that. Okay. So I'll let this settle in the on the back burner while I'm continuing to do the code stuff here. All right, we don't need records. So patch. Let me first do a git. I don't know if I want to do a git on this. Can we do git? Do we have to do a domain, or can we do a subdomain? That's what I really want to know right now. What does this look like? Records, data, name. I think I get that. Yeah, reseller. Managing a domain purchased outside the scope of your reseller account. I'm not really clear what that is. We have example, view, model. Does model give us... I kind of would have preferred if the example view gave us an example. Okay, I think this makes sense. All right, let's take a look. So we're going to do I'm going to call it GDD update. Let me just paste this in here for now. Hello to those of you joining in. I'm AJ. What's your name? What brings you to the channel tonight? Okay, so this is another thing that bugs me, and to the purpose of or to the prior discussion of the meaning of life, pointing out what bugs me all the time probably isn't the best thing for my life to reach its what do I want to say here? It's pinnacle. But anyway, I really, I guess the reason I point out things I don't like is because somebody made this, right? And one day, y'all, if you're not already in a position where you're making stuff, a lot of people on the channel are newer developers. So you're going to be making stuff, and this should be selectable text. I should be able to copy and paste this, but I can't, and that bugs me. And if you are the type of person that is one day working on documentation, I think it's important to see the way that people interact with things and what their expectations are. I expect to be able to copy and paste this. That makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know why you wouldn't want to let someone copy and paste it when it is, because it's an API. You want to do that. Anyway, what do we have here? OTE environment. I wonder what OTE means. Maybe something test environment? Because normally they're called sandboxes. Anyway, let's construct this. We're going to do curl domains, domain, records, and then we do not have authorization. I'm going to guess it's authorization basic. And then I'm going to guess that it is Godaddy API key and GoDaddy API secret is what I'm going to guess that is, which in this case I should be doing, is it user and pass? I think that's how I'm supposed to be doing it. So it should be like this. I need to look up that documentation real quick. Curl help. Oh, and I totally forgot to source my fish config earlier. User colon password. Excellent. Yes, so that is the way that I should be doing it. Okay. And then I also want to put in my domain. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to update it in the environment and the example env. And I'll show this in just a second. Okay. So, whoops, there we go. Example.env. So, just added that in there. And then I'm going to take this one. We're going to source the, let's do this. There we go. So we're going to source the .env file. We're going to pull this in. I'm guessing we need to do content type application JSON. But I really do appreciate the simplicity. I think this is, I forget the name of this thing, but it's a fairly standard tool to generate APIs. It's got, I forget what the name of it is. If it's the thing I'm thinking of, it's not Restify, that's something else, but it's got a name like that, where it's auto-generated documentation, APIology or something. If you know what it is, go ahead and comment with it. I'm just blanking on it at the moment. But it's nice to have things in a straight list that you can just look down and get a good bird's eye view. In fact, creedsofcraftsmanship.com, if you look at the talk by Matt Ryer, how I write HTTP services after 8 years, he gives some good thoughts on that. So port is not for this type of record. Service is not for this type of record. Priority is not for this type of record, because we're going to do, the type that we're going to go with is A. And wait, oh, bless me. We don't have wait. TTL, I think the minimum we can do is 600 on GoDaddy. I'm not sure. I could find that out. And then the data would need to be, it's going to be the IPv4 address. We're going to do two of these. So we're going to do the IPv4 and the IPv6 address. But I think I'm going to break it down so that we do each one. So this will be, I'm just going to put quad X here for right now. Protocol, I don't think this is protocol. I think all we need, I'm going to rearrange this. Type should be up top. Then the name, the data, and the TTL. That is the right way. Well, alphabetically is also a right way. But we'll try 300 and see if that works. I don't know if it will. Okay, patch. So patch, this is actually pretty cool. I think I saw something that was actually better for this, that I could do a put on a type. Where is it? Ah, right here. This is better. This is better. Replace all DNS records for the specified domain with the specified type and name. So this is what I actually want. Because this would potentially add records. It's kind of ambiguous. Whereas the put will definitely either create or replace them. I see some more people have joined in. Hi, I'm AJ. Would love to know who you are and what brings you to the channel today. Okay, let's take a look. Let me read the documentation for this. Add the specified DNS records to the specified domain. So that it almost seems that this should be a post, because you could have the same record potentially multiple times. So patch typically is used to mean that you're going to merge things together, but I don't think that that's what this means. I wish I had a little bit more context for what the behavior is. So that replace all records, that's super clear. And this one's super clear. So this is what I want to use. And then this delete is super clear as well. These could be dangerous too. Well, important reason to use set-u in strict mode, because we wouldn't want this to be on set. Really, we don't want that to be empty, but in this case, it's okay. Well, let's see. We've got type and then name. So I'm going to do my sub is quadx here, and we're going to put my sub, and then hopefully, because sometimes an API will treat multiple slashes as a single slash, but in this case we don't want that, because if for some reason type was empty or name were empty because of the way the API is structured here, let me go back down. So take a look at this. You got to put there. So if you somehow accidentally left out the name, or if you wanted to do, I guess if you wanted to do at the root level, you'd do at here, because that's commonly used. That you would put at to mean I want the secondary level domain to be modified, or the zone. I want the zone to be modified. You put an at for the zone, meaning, you know, you've got my.example.com. Example.com is the zone or the SLD. Okay, so that really, let's just, I think, I guess it is domains. It's not zone. Zones are a thing. It gets kind of weird when you dig a little deeper into how domains work, and you can delegate a subdomain as a zone to a different name server. Okay, Godaddy records a my sub. And then we can just do this. I suppose that type is not necessary anymore, but let's take a look at what it says. I wouldn't be surprised if we still add it because the shape of the object's still the same. What's up, Honene? Okay. Domains type and data port. Okay, so I guess just data, because none of these other things would be, and TTL. So just data and TTL, because name's already specified and type's already specified. All right, so, And then we wouldn't need this or that. I'm just going to copy this whole thing. And then we could do a put on this. And then we can put a put on this. And then we can get rid of this one. And then for here, we can put the quad A. And get rid of the IPv4. So we've got the IPv4, the IPv6. I'm setting them both to localhost for testing. And I think I'm going to log into the account and see that this works. I am going to try this in the other screen just because I'm not sure if now that I switched over to curly, curly does syntax highlighting and prints out extra stuff on the screen. I'm not sure if it'll print out the username or not. I might need to turn off curly. But let me go ahead and run that and see what we get. Okay, credentials must be specified. I don't know how you could not think they were specified because they are definitely specified. But let me take a look at this. Make sure I spelled things correctly. I didn't misspell API. That's good. I didn't misspell secret. That's good. Okay. Maybe, is there something else that I wasn't paying attention to here? Let me bring this back over. If you see it, you let me know. So user is right there. I just specified that. And then, whoops, curl-help. Let me just make sure that my dash user was correct. Something's wrong here. Well, I wonder if curly is different. Okay, this was released, oh, just a few days ago. All right, let me do this. Oh, that's, and then we go do it in bash. Curl. Okay. -u user. So maybe I won't do curly because maybe the way that curly works has changed in some way. So let me go back into my fish config and I'm going to comment out that alias. And then do we have, what is it? Unalias? Curl? Curl -h. It's definitely aliased. Okay, that's better. Okay, still missing credentials. I am going to go check something over here. I'm just going to echo out the variables to the screen, which they should be there because I see that they're there. But just for the funsies. So I'll bring this over in just a second once I've gotten rid of the secret stuff. Missing credentials. Oh, duh. Okay, I think I know why it's telling me that it's missing credentials. I didn't check, and I just made the assumption that it was used basic auth because it's a key value pair. but that may not be the case. So what I need to look for is, let's open up documentation. Nope, I was in the right place there. We'll go back here. So what I don't have in this is I don't have anything specifying how I should pass the authentication. It's kind of annoying. Let's see. Yeah, that's not surprising. Domain, verification, renewal details, error. Do we have anything about auth here? No, these are all models. Let's see, did I miss something? Let's just check and see. It may have said, oh, statuses. Wow, that's quite a few. Did it say anything in here about how it expects authentication? You know, I actually have a project myself where I worked with Godaddy. Let me see if I can go, let's see, Greenlock, Godaddy. I'll just go take a look at my own code and see how I did it there. That's weird. DNS 01. Let's try this. I think Acme DNS 01 GoDaddy. That's it. That's the one. So if we can go here. Oh, 404. That's not good. Oh, it's probably just because. That is indeed not good. Oh, .js. Okay, so I need to go update that at some point. And index just requires lib. And then lib. By the way, I am very much against the idea of ES modules for Node because they don't do anything useful, but they do break. They do break the API. They break a lot of stuff. Okay, so auth. Interesting. Authorization auth. Oh. SSO key. All right, cool. We can do that. So let's do this. Whoops, I've got that open over here. Let me close that out over here. So open that back up over here. And so rather than do -- user, we're going to do authorization and then SSO key. And that should work then, I imagine. And again, let me run this over here real quick just to make sure the output is all right. And as I expected, minimum value of 600. So let's go back to the TTL. That's 10 minutes, by the way. Some of the really nice ones go as low as 0, no TTL, meaning that you always propagate the requests, the DNS requests all the way back to the domain name server. Typically, the minimums are either 5 minutes on most services or 10 minutes on some services. But none of that really matters because when you think about it, the caching in the DNS system happens at the router level. So you've got a router in your house, and then it connects to an ISP router, and it connects to a backbone router, so on and so forth. And this is all based on recent usage. So your router might keep things in cache for the full term of the TTL, whatever that is. But the router up one layer at the ISP, it's handling thousands of different. So people visit, the 25 top websites all the time. Those ones are going to stay in cache for a long time. But all the other little blogs and websites and all that, it doesn't have enough RAM to store all of that list for very long. So at the ISP level, it would not surprise me at all if to some, just any random site, if it will only live there less than 5 minutes, because all the different traffic that's going through from the ISP for all the different sites, its RAM just isn't going to hold the records that long. And then it'll request them again pretty soon. Might be probably typically closer to 30 minutes or so. But even if you set on your own DNS records a record that's supposed to last for 3 days, I would highly doubt that it's going to last more than 3 hours. It'll probably last about 30 minutes to an hour, because there's just not enough RAM for every router to store all that information about every website. All right, so we bumped that to 600. Let's see what happens now. Invalid character. So what do we have here? Oh, I see. Trailing comma. Okay, that was a little bit unexpected. Whoops. I was expecting a response. Maybe we got back at 200 okay on that. I'm not really sure. I'm going to run this again in my other terminal with a -v again, running it over here because I don't know if the authorization header will be printed to the screen or not. So I'm going to put it over here. By the way, feel free to ask questions. As Bill Gunn did, you can feel free to ask questions that are a little bit off topic. Although, well, typically my off topic is normally still in the realm of coding, but if you want to ask me questions about opinions on things, that works too. Authorization. Yes. So it's good that I did not show that, because indeed it is not scrubbing the authorization header, which I wouldn't necessarily expect it to, and I put it in verbose mode. Okay. Content length. 200 okay. Content length 0. I mean, that's a little weird, especially because when you consider there's no harm in putting a TCP packet is 1,500 bytes, roughly 1.5 kilobytes. That's the general size that you can expect an old school TCP packet to go across a network. That's called the MTU. Now, if you're on a gigabit connection, theoretically you can send jumbo packets that are much larger than 1.5 kilobytes, but in reality, so much of the internet is old legacy stuff that routers don't always auto-negotiate properly at the backbone layer, where, say, Google is talking to Amazon, and the cloud layer of the internet is so old and decrepit that you will sometimes encounter extremely strange errors that make no sense if you turn on jumbo packets. I haven't done it in a couple years. Let me just do that right now. Let's see what happens if we turn on jumbo packets. Let's see. Where's that at? Hardware? Configure manually. MTU, jumbo. Just remind me if I have trouble with this computer, it's because I turned on jumbo packets. Let's just refresh here. See if the internet still works. Can I still do a search? Am I still connected to the internet? I think I am. Anyway, so now my packet size is 9,000, which means that it could be a little more efficient Oh, no, look at that. It went back. Huh. One more time. Cable unplugged. Cable plugged. Okay, let's go back. All right. Let's try again. Oh, it's faster now. Actually, that did seem kind of faster. Hello, world. All right, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Because technically, it should make the network faster. Anyway, what I was going to say, the point of this was that when you are considering what bytes to send back, I would say that you should always send back a JSON success message and an API at the very least. Just because when debugging, it's more immediately clear and obvious that things went through successfully. And you're at no loss because the minimum size that's going to be transmitted over the network is the packet size. So whether you send a packet that has the full 1.5 kilobytes or you send a packet that is smaller than that doesn't really make that much of a difference because that is the packet size. You know, if you took an envelope and you only put, say you could fit 5 sheets of paper in the envelope and you only fit 1 piece of paper in the envelope it's not that much different. Technically, I guess there's slightly fewer CPU cycles or something when filling up the packet. But, if you're trying to conserve bandwidth, I don't think it really makes much of a difference. And somebody can feel free to argue with me on that, and if I'm mistaken. But I think when you get down, when you're looking at responses that are just a few headers and you're less than the MTU size, you're not saving anything. So I don't know why you wouldn't have a response to indicate success. Anyway, let's go ahead and look and see if we did get success. And the way that we're going to do that, I think we're going to get back all records. Let's see if we can get, we can get back the specific record. There we go again. I cannot. Come on. Don't make me type it. There we go. Kind of, sort of. Surprisingly, that worked. I guess I don't need anything other than this, right? I could put the except there. Probably not necessary. For better or for worse, except really doesn't get used. It does in a few APIs where they let you specify JSON or HTML or XML or something or other. But typically speaking, you just put a file name on it or an extension. If you wanted XML, you'd have, in the old days when APIs used to do both, you would just tack on .xml at the end, and that was that. Also, unfortunately, this does allow trailing slashes. I would consider that unfortunate because then, because I would want if this were empty and this were left to trailing slash, I would want that to fail because of the potential danger of the difference between what it means to set all A records versus to set records for a particular name. So here we go. This is all we need, yeah. So let's test the A records and the quad A records. And we should get back an array for both of these. All right. I wonder if it would let me put anything in there. I'm just going to try putting a star in here because technically it's just binary data. I'm just wondering how much it's validated. Good, invalid record. That's what I like to see. Yeah, because technically, yeah, it's just a field, and DNS is old as dirt. We're talking. I don't know if it's the 90s. It's definitely at least as old as the 90s. Might be 80s. It's probably 90s. There were actually multiple competing internet standards. I believe one of them was called Chaos, which that's kind of cool. And DNS supports Chaos records. I think that's what it was called. All right. So, whoop, there we go. I need to lower down just a little bit. Get my hands at the right position here. My wrists are starting to hurt, which means that something's off about the height of my table or the height of my chair. Oh, that's what it is. Huh, okay. There we go. I didn't have my armrests up. I was putting too much weight on my wrists. I've got the armrests right here. Also, I'm going to tilt this just a little that way since I'm mostly over here right now. And we could bring this down just a touch too, couldn't we? Oh, since I'm not sitting up so high right now. There we go. All right. All right, so this is awesome. That's doing what it needs to do. All right, I guess I'm ready to integrate this together. Let's see if I can deploy a new system. And then I need to be able to delete droplets as well. That's something I probably ought to do tonight. Otherwise, I'll get lazy about it. And the thing is, how to say this? Things are not as hard as they seem. The mental energy of committing to a course of action is the greatest of the energies because you can imagine all the roadblocks. You can imagine all the work that it's going to be. But once you actually start down that road and you're in the flow of it, it goes away. So I think about, oh my goodness, I'm going to have this thing delete these at some point. I'm going to have a runner for it. If I just put that on a checkbox list and went through it one by one, it's actually not that bad. I guess it becomes obnoxious when it feels that the knocking off of the checkbox isn't that rewarding. Also the switching of tasks, because I'm in the flow of creation right now. And when I switch to the flow of creation, destruction, that's more a mode of maintenance, and it feels more boring. Okay, but here we are. And that is set up. Okay, strict host key checking equals no. That's what I'm going to put. And we're going to do mysub.mydomain. And this should log me in. But you know what? I'm going to do curl SSH add user. So that's going to set up that bit. So we're going to do root at, and then we're going to change to the app. And there's a couple of things that we need to do. Let's see. VPS add swap. We're going to need to do that. What else should we do for getting this thing set up? But then once we're there, maybe we just log in. All right, so let's see what this does. Has the possibility to be quite assigning. I was reading at the same time I was talking. Exciting. Let me go check and see what we're at here. Oh, let me go delete that one. There's one that's already there. I'm going to delete it. Okay, so I imagine the next time. Oh, it looks like it might have another 20 seconds to go. Oh, whoops! I should bring this over so you can see. Well, I'm not going to bring it over. But it's okay. Oh, whoops. Example.com, that's not what we wanted. Darn. So we're going to try this again. Domain. I don't know why I said Godaddy domain for that variable name. That's actually not important. All right, so I'm going to delete the one I just created. And then by the way, as y'all are coming and going, if you come to a point where you feel like you learned something, this was useful, or you just like the sound of my voice, or my amazing lion's mane of hair, let me fluff that out for you. And go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, give it a thumbs down, because every thumb helps, and it never hurts to be helpful. And you can check the doobly-doo. There's related and unrelated links. And let's see, what else? Subscribe if you want to. All that stuff, you know. More importantly, if it's useful, share it with somebody else who might also find it useful. And I do really enjoy the questions and whatnot, so feel free to ask something. As you can see, you know, there's not 100 million people subscribed to the channel. So unlike some of those other channels where everything's just and all the comments are lost and nobody gets to read them because there's literally dozens of them per second, I do see and I do respond. Okay. I think it's working. Okay, it's hung. Because I forgot, it takes about 30 seconds between the time that it's created and the time when you can actually log in. And I don't know what a good way to test that is, because essentially the packet's been sent, but SSH wasn't listening, or was in the middle of starting to listen. So the packet was neither rejected nor received in a useful way. Essentially the packet was dropped. And when packets are dropped, you get this where it just sits there and waits and waits and waits, and eventually it'll time out. So I got to think about that. So basically, how do I set the timeout? SSH connection timeout. Because essentially I want to set the timeout for, say, 5 seconds, then I want to sleep for 10 seconds, and then I want to try again. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to set all of these options, and we're going to say if so if this is successful, brick, right? Oh, whoops. Stop. There we go. And then I guess we should do a counter. I always forget the arithmetic counter. So I think it's my count equals 0, and then my count equals, and I think it's parentheses, and I think it has to have a space. I think it's that. Let's try this out. So we're going to go into bash here, and we're going to do my count equals 0, and then we're going to do my count equals my count plus 1, and then echo my count. I think you have to do let as well. I think you have to do let. Yeah. Oh, but then what happens with the scope? Maybe if we do double parentheses, maybe then we don't need let. Nope, that's not it. Because I think a problem happens here with scope. Okay, so while my count less than 5, I don't know, sleep 10, would this be fair? Let's see, is this? Okay, what about this? What about this? Echo my count. Let's go look it up. How to add in bash. Yeah, see, it's got these double parentheses going on. Arithmetic expansion. $. And do I need to have the let there? No. Okay. So let's go back on this then. Let's clear that out. My count equals 0. Echo my count. Alrighty. And then testing SSH connection. There we go. All right, so I'm going to delete the one that I just set up again. And then I'm going to run this again. All right, I see it's been created over my other window. Looks like it's done over here. So this next one I think will read active. We'll see. Indeed, it reads active, and now it's going to test the SSH connection. So I'm going to trace on that. Let's see. Dig trace. Okay, so this does have the correct address. Let's do dig plus trace quad A. And I suppose, well, let's see. And then we're going to do strict host key checking equals no. And I don't even want to save that into my file. All right, operation timed out. Testing SSH connection, 1. Testing SSH connection, 2. It seems quite strange. All right, let's see. Not having a ping is not necessarily an indication that it isn't up, but it could be. Let's try going direct IP. Okay, so direct IP worked. What does that tell us? What does that tell us? So I think what that tells us is that we're using the same domain over and over again, and the IP records are being cached across various layers of the operating system and the network, and we're getting essentially just junk data. 200. I'm trying to remember what that is. Oh, I think that's a Raspberry Pi. Okay, interesting that I said strict host key checking equals no. Oh, let me see. SSH don't save host. Don't add host key to known hosts. Ah, this is it. Dev null. Right on. Okay. So I think I'm going to change it from quad X here to X1234 or XYZ123. Let's do that. And let me see, do I have any quad X's in here that I should get rid of? I got some quad X's there. No, this is good. Let me think about this for a second. Oh, and I didn't actually want to do that to that. Okay, I'm going to delete this one. I'm sorry I'm not showing you that. It's just, I don't want to show all of our dev instances and their IP addresses and such on the cam. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. Dev instances don't have any data on them that's of any particular importance. But just to be on the somewhat safe side there, I don't know. All right, so let me think through this again. Problem that we had is most likely due to DNS caching. I feel pretty comfortable saying that. All right, so let's try this again. This time we're choosing, actually, you know, let's just get a random domain. Can we get random? And then do, so let me do command-v earned here. That is so strange. That should at least show up as an alias, shouldn't it? Well, let's do this. OpenSSL rand base 64 4. Right? No, apparently not. 2. Let's do hex. 2 bytes. Okay, so these are bytes. Yeah. So here's how we're going to do it. We're not going to do XYZ123. We're going to do dev, and then something random. And at this point, I actually do want to go ahead and copy this over. I'm just tracking it in an issue right now. This will get moved into an actual script and maybe a blog post and so on and so forth. But for the moment, it's fine for me that we're just tracking it this way. Okay, the other thing was, so this is a testing SSH connection. I just don't understand. I guess we'll see the count. It seems that something went wrong there. And then, all right, it's getting rid of the $sign there. Blah, 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 blah. All right, it's creating the droplet. I don't know. I am getting kind of tired. So I don't know if I am going to go through with deleting the droplets today. All right. Testing SSH connection. There's one. Could not resolve. 2. Could not resolve. 3. Could not resolve. Now this is kind of strange to me. Could not resolve hostname, but why not? This should be able to resolve that just fine. There's one reason I could think that maybe it can't resolve it, which is that you actually, so you can cache a DNS miss. So you can give back a response and say, hey, I don't have anything. Assume that I don't have anything for the next couple minutes. And that might be what's happening here. Is it may have gotten a DNS cache miss. And the miss has been cached. Which would just be kind of ridiculous. But that appears to be what happened. I think it cached the miss. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and destroy this. Confirm. And let me think through that problem. Well, how about we do this? How about instead of doing the domain, we do my IPv4. And then here we do the same thing. We'll just do a little bit of setup on the IPv4 address while we wait for the DNS to propagate. And the DNS should be able to propagate within a few seconds. So really, let's just put echo giving DNS some time to propagate. And then just sleep 10 seconds there. And that'll be fine. And actually, let's do this. Let's do this. So as soon as we have, we're going to do this in two trips here. So we're going to do this while loop twice. We're going to check for IPv4, so just IP addresses. So we're going to grab this information. Let's throw out status. If we have the IPv4 information, we're just going to break. Okay. And we're going to set the addresses. Boom. Done. Great. Now we're going to come down here. We're setting the domain first. Setting IPv4 address to and then here setting IPv6 address to setting, we'll do quad A record instead of address. There we go. So that'll give it some extra time to propagate because this is going to take 30 seconds or so. So by the time that this is done provisioning, so we're checking for active status. And I'm going to set this down to sleep 2 because it shouldn't have to sleep very hard. Okay, and then this is going to be sleep 10. And then I don't actually care about the IP addresses on this one. So we can get rid of that and just leave it as this. Well, really, we can go a step further and just say, give me droplet.status, and that would be my status. All right, we get rid of the and there, and we need to get rid of the and here. So all we need here is an IPv4 address. And all we need here is an active status. And then that should give us enough time that now we can test the SSH connection. I'm thinking. All right, keys, droplet, assigning, setting IPv4, IPv6, checking for active status. Yo, Rune! Hey, I saw that you did a PR on webinstall.dev. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to try to get to that this soonish. I kind of got backed up right now. I've got a bunch of things on my plate. But that's how it is in the wintertime too. Because, well, no, that's how it gets all the time. But I feel like it gets that way in the wintertime in particular. All right. Testing SSH connection. So it's gone to active status. Okay, it's resolving. But it's getting a timeout. Cool. Boom. Oh, wow. Moment of triumph. All right. So I'm now logged into a provisioned dev instance. And now it's time to get the rest of the software running on there. Or maybe I'll leave that for tomorrow. I think I will do. I'll work on the cleanup. I'll work on the cleanup bits. So now what we need to do is we need to list all of the instances that are we can determine to be auto-generated, and we're going to delete them. And so I think what I'll do, well, I need to, all the DNS records that are auto-generated, I want to delete. Yeah, we're going to have some sort of prefix or something on these. Anyway, I really like contributing. If I did something wrong, please write to me and I'll change it. I only add the function keyword, etc. Yeah, so I think that what you did there looks pretty good. What I'm going to want to do is probably have you rebase that down into one commit if it's just the function additions, just so we don't have 40 commits, because it's basically one one thing that's done. That's very simple to do using git rebase -i head tilde 20 or so, or 40, because it's quite a few commits. I don't remember how many it was. And then you just do find and replace pick with F for all the ones that are below. Yeah, I'll check it out. I haven't actually looked at it. I imagine that it will work. Did you use an automated tool to make those changes, or did you make them by hand? Because if you went with a commit like that, typically what I would do is I would include, here's the command that I ran to make these changes across all the files. Because then I know systematically it's not possible for there to be any typos. And if there is a problem in one file, I'll know the character of the problem or the type of the problem categorically, that I could quickly scan to see if any other files have that same mismatch issue. So SD is a very appropriate tool for doing what you did if that wasn't what you used. But I'll just put this here. This is what I use to do that sort of thing. Yeah. Okay. Well, I would actually recommend that you learn how to do it with a script for your own benefit of learning how to do it with a script. It is much more valuable to be able to batch tasks like that. Even if it takes you more time the first time, getting used to simple regular expressions and tools that can operate on many files. So often I find, well, multiple tools really, really helpful for refactoring, but SD is one that I use a lot. It has a regex mode and a string mode. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Well, whatever you choose to do. But I will take a look at it, and then I'll try to tag you, or you jump in sometimes. If you don't happen to jump in on that one, I'll let you know. Oh, and by the way, for people that are, as you're coming in and you're leaving, and coming and going, whatever, if you do find this session useful for you, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and share it with somebody that you think would get some benefit out of it. And if you don't, then give it a thumbs down, because every thumbs helps, and that makes you an even nicer person. And then, doobly-doo, click all the things, subscribe, all that, if you want to. I do try to put interesting things in the description. I often reference them throughout the session. Okay, so I'm just going to think here. First of all, let me copy the script as it is, because it's in a good place. I don't know if I just did this. I may have just done this and forgotten already that I did it, but that's okay. Does not matter. So now the next bit is I'm going to need some sort of prefix. Well, I've got a tag. I've got a delete me tag. So what I should be able to do on the DigitalOcean side is I should be able to find everything that's got a delete me tag. Hopefully. I'm hoping that there's a way to list droplets by tag. Let's see. Untag a resource. Deleting droplets by tag. Ba-da-da-da. That's exactly what I want to do. Yes. Yes. Look. Ba-da-da-da. Excellent. Excellent, 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 excellent. And I think this is a delete. Yeah. Cool. So I really like the DigitalOcean API docs here. I love that it is all one giant, huge, honking thing. However, with it being so JavaScript-ish and trying to be dynamic or whatever, it does have this problem where the page... I think there might be too much JavaScript on the page. I don't know. This just... That doesn't feel right to me. By the way, the adaptive refresh rate on the M1 Max, it's a silly thing and a simple thing, but it is nice. It is one of those cherry on top type deals. You notice the difference between 120 frames per second when you're scrolling down a page and 60 or 30 frames a second when you're scrolling on a page. All right, let's do delete droplet. You know, one thing that I wish we could do in general is have, I'm going to go into list key, no, not list, what list regions maybe? Yeah, there we go. Just grab this stuff here. Oh, sorry, I didn't even finish my thought in my own head. I don't even know what my thought was now. One of the things that I wish that we could do, with DNS records. It'd be nice if we could put a tag, generally speaking, on DNS records. That does not go well across all the different APIs that are available. But I wish it did. I wish that it was commonplace to tag DNS records. I think you can tag DNS records and DigitalOcean. Let me see. Let's see if we've got DNS in here. Yeah, see, I typed, and it takes a long time for it to appear, and I'm not clear on why that is. Create a new CDN point, list all CDN points. I have to check out the CDN. Purge CDN, create new certificate. Let's see. Let me try domain. But something's going on with this page, and it might be because it's so long and there's so much JavaScript with all these little tiny interactive bits that it's just killing it. Create a new domain record. Do we get to put a tag? Yes, we do. Heaven bless them. Yes, this is appropriate. Okay, and tag is tag name. Delete me. Oh, and it disappeared. Nice. This is so good. And you know, I think I might actually move the DNS. I might either create a zone to delegate to DigitalOcean to manage, such as dev.example.com, so that the whole dev.example.com is on DigitalOcean, but the rest of it could live in GoDaddy. Or I might... I could just move the whole thing over. I really like the idea of being able to tag the DNS records. Yep, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Well, no, am I going to do it right now, though? Let me check out. Create a new domain record. Do we have a replace domain record? Because one of the nice things, we do. We do have a replace domain record. There's the put right there. Okay. Domain record ID. Okay, how do they describe a domain record ID? Because I actually do like... yeah, I get it. It makes sense. But I like the way that Godaddy does it, where you can replace records categorically. I actually think that that's a nice idea. List all domain records. Retrieve an existing domain record. Well, okay, let's just see here. List all domain records and we can get tags back, right? So let's take a look. Domain record. And we can get tag. Wait, is tag an array? Or is it, do we get one tag or do we get many tags? So, okay, notice, I want to point something out here for everybody that's been following along. And you hear me talk about Go, and some people have asked, well, isn't Go kind of an obscure language? Because it's not ancient, because it's not decrepit and dying, right? So Go is an extremely popular language in certain circles. No, it's not popular for front-end development. But look at this. Look at the examples. Curl, Go, and Ruby. Now, why they have Ruby? Probably because they started building their services in Ruby, because Ruby was really, really popular when DigitalOcean came about. But Go. So curl, Go, Ruby. Why is Go there? Because all of the internet's infrastructure is written in Go. That's why Go is there. Because Go is the programming language for internet infrastructure. So, and it's a really easy language to learn. It's great for scripting too. It's better than Python for scripting. So, yeah, you will notice anything that has to do with DevOps, they're most likely going to have Go examples. Okay, I think I may have missed some comments. Let me check here. We'll try to do it again. Using a script, it is nice to it. Okay, great, thanks. But I don't want to have you do extra work just for the sake of doing extra work. I can review it, but it will be it makes me feel better to know that that this was an automated machine action, so then I don't have to review it as closely, and then I can test myself with the command and see, yeah, this looks like the right command. It looks like it does the right thing. Anyway, word tag. Oh no, this is not, okay, never mind. It's not that kind of tag. It's a DNS tag. Okay. Yeah. So be it. All right, so my excitement is down a little bit on that. Nevertheless, let's see. I'm going to go check. I want to see in Godaddy. Developer portal. My products. Oh, Godaddy's so confusing to use. I'm looking over here. All right, we're going to go to the DNS. Oh, good. Finally, I went to the right thing for once. What all do we have? Okay. So we've got this bit here. Oh, yeah, I want to get rid of that one. Deleted. So one project that I still want to do is a cross DNS API platform. So where we take, say, the top 10 DNS services by somewhat by naivete, because people that are deep into, say, AWS, well, I guess that one might be good to do too. But let's say GoDaddy, Name.com, Namecheap, DigitalOcean, and then maybe Google, and but the Google one is so hard. I remember looking at that one, and the authentication for it was just crazy, if I remember. I remember having to use a library for it because it was so, and it wasn't documented. It was just use the library kind of thing. And I don't like that. I like it when the steps can be broken down fairly simply. But anyway, I want to do an API project, and I think this is really important for the web, where you can, so that, you know, say you want to use Postmark. I just want to be able to use Postmark, right? And have it set everything up automatically. Just have management over the domains, and be able to give some sort of restrictions, because maybe we don't want every service to be able to access every domain. But basically, yeah, I really want some sort of abstract DNS API to bridge between all these other APIs. I think it would be extremely valuable and really have a great chance of catching on. It's just something the internet needs. And I think that GoDaddy actually has an API that functions somewhat in the way I'm describing, where it's OAuth oriented and has that user flow to it. But based on my experiences, I don't know if what they've developed is complete enough. I gotta go check it out again. Anyway. Okay, so what do I need to do? I guess I just need a pattern to follow. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And I'm going to delete this. I think. Let me see. I don't know what that would even be. Yeah. Okay. And the IP address must be back in circulation, but that's not us anymore. Oh, and you know what? I've decided I actually don't like this. All right, so I'm going to delete. I'm just going to delete. Delete. Okay. And I don't think, is staging? That's not where staging is it? Let me make sure. Where am I at? Okay, I'm looking at the right thing. Good. Okay, because I don't want to be deleting stuff from where it doesn't belong. Let's see about this. All right, I'm gonna get rid of this one. I'm just deleting some domains. Okay, getting rid of that one. We don't need that anymore. That has a different meaning now. Oh crap. Let's say dev. No. I don't know what that means. I'm just going to get rid of that one too. And if anything starts breaking, we will know that it was my fault. But this is all dev stuff. I'm just deleting some domains right now. All right. Okay. Good to know. All right. Domain Connect. That's what it's called. There's a protocol called Domain Connect. Yeah, it would be relatively low effort to get the service up and running. But it need to be monetized for sure, so it's sustainable. All right, anyway, let me check on what we got here. So what I'm going to need to do is list domains that match a certain query. So let's see if we have a way to do that. Do we have a way to get records? So get domain records. We've got type and name, but I don't really want a name. I want a prefix. That's what I really want. So do we have a way to get retrieve all details for the specified domain? What does that mean? Because it's not records, but details. It's a distinct difference. Okay, this is request was successful, auth code, contact admin, contact billing, contact registrant, contact tech, created, transfer, expires, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So get rid of that, get rid of that. We do not have a ability to get I'm missing something. I'm definitely missing something. Wait, we got a v1 domains and a v2 domains? Oh, v1. What? I don't want to use v1, do I? Oops. All right, I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused here. Because we should be able to get records. You got to be kidding me. Wait, something's not right here. There's. Oh, okay, let's see. Is there really not? Wait, we really don't have a way to get records? Is that true? We can update records. We have an API to update records. We don't have an API to retrieve records. Something feels wrong here. Oh, okay. So it's saying that these are optional. Okay, so it's got the get here. It's listed only once, but it's saying they're optional. So we can get all records or we can get some records. Okay, I'm down. Do we have any sort of prefix? What? Wait, it says optional. And then it says required. So which is it? Is it optional or is it required? Let's find out. All right. So let's just see records A. None of that. Oops. Okay, cool. So it works. And again, let's see. So I want to get, whoops. First, let's go ahead and just put this into records.json. Records.a.json. Yeah, we'll just go with that for now. And let's take a look. So we've got an array. And what we want to fetch out of here are names that match a certain prefix. So what I want to be able to get out of here is these. I think I'm going to use cut to do it. Yeah, so I think I'll use cut for this. So we'll use JQ, and then we'll use grab. So we want to grab things that start with dev hyphen, and then we'll use cut dash D. I guess we could do quote. This is going to be our delimiter. And then we could expect, what could we expect here? I don't know what we could expect here. Let me take a look at this again real quick. How could we expect this to be formatted? I think we're going to have to be a little bit more precise with JQ. I think we're going to need to say give me .name. So let me do this. Records, JQ, okay, cool. There we are. That's it. That's what we needed. We'll do jq-r .name here. And then we'll get the ones that start with dev. Okay. And then we want to delete. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. I wonder if there's a good way for me to combine these together. All right, let's go ahead and make sure we're grabbing things that start with dev and not all dev. Otherwise, we're going to have a hard time. All right, good. So we're just grabbing things that start with dev. And really, okay, I do want to... Okay, here's what we're going to do. So we're going to take my subs, and we're going to put these out. We're going to run 2 commands. One for A records, one for quad A records. And that should give us all the output. Let's see, echo. All right, and then how do we do for... Okay. Bash for each string in variable. I normally use while read, but I'm wondering if there's something better to do for URL in. Sure. So for my sub in my subs, do echo my sub. Done. All right, excellent. All right, now we need the delete. Gosh, it's cold in here. Hey, welcome. I am on the tail end of my journey tonight. And by the way, I'm AJ. I don't know who you are, but if you'd like to tell me, I'd love to know. But I'm on the tail end of my journey. I am now in the cleanup phase. So I've gotten through the part where I can create a droplet based on a git push. Well, actually, I haven't. The git push part is that script is somewhere else. I haven't actually touched that script tonight. I've just been working on the given a branch name, can we go create the DNS records, create the droplet, and then get it to the point where then the deploy script is going to run. So the deploy script is going to start. It's going to do these things. And then right now I'm working on the cleanup. So at 6 o'clock should run cleanup. All the dev records, dev DNS records should get deleted. All the dev instances should get deleted. Yeah. And I think this is going to be really useful in a lot of situations, actually. So I'm really glad to be working on this. Let's see. Gosh, it is cold. Let me bring the heater a little closer. I think my daughter pushed the heater a little further away. I think I had it closer before. I should put my hoodie on. There we go. Superpowers. Yes, it is winter. Anyway, I just need to do a delete. And I think I can kind of guess at what that delete should be. The delete should be, and heaven help me if I get this wrong. So I do not want to do that. But it's going to be my sub. That's what it's going to be. And then it's going to have the authorization. And it's probably not going to have any output. So we're just going to say deleting. Now, one thing I'll be interested to see if they do. I won't be surprised if they don't do it. But generally speaking, if you do a delete operation, if you accept a delete operation in your API, the polite and kind thing to do is that you should return the data from the API that was deleted, so that if the user realizes, oh, that was a mistake, they've got something in their console that they can go recreate it, or in their logs, or wherever it is, you know? It's a good thing to do, a good, conscientious thing to do. All right, so we're going to do x delete here. I'm going to go check the API, but it's fairly guessable, but it is a delete operation, so we ought to double check on it. Yeah, type and name, right? So I actually don't care if this fails. So that is correct. I don't care about this except JSON. We're going to get rid of that for now. But we're going to delete the A records and we're going to delete the quad A records on this. Okay. So that should be good. Yeah, let's try it. So we're deleting the droplet and we're deleting the, this is wonderful. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. All right, so I'm going to cat the create pb copy it. I'm going to put it into, I had an issue open just kind of to track this script as I've been working on it. And then I'm going to put the delete script in here too. And then tomorrow I'm going to wire this up with our deploy system. So, but all the pieces are in place. So I'm sorry that I'm probably not going to be streaming where I put all of the glue together. Let's see, create and delete DigitalOcean VPSs. I think I saw a comment come in. No, I did not see a comment come in. Create. Delete. VPS plus DNS. Okay, and this is deletes by tag. And then I think I'm going to go get some shut-eye. And today's been a productive day. Well, the day wasn't very productive, but it's been a productive evening. Probably more productive than I would have been during the day. So, all comes out in the wash. This is great. This is awesome. Just thinking about this for a minute. Okay. Well, I know that this works. I'm tempted to run it all again just to see the whole thing go, but it's not really necessary. And my eyes are getting tired and my words are slurring and all that. So I'm not going to worry about it right now. I do want, let's see. So random domain plus prefix, this is a go. What we need is specified domain. That should be pretty easy to do. I'm just going to put a to-do here. To-do. And we're going to say integrate with Git Deploy Scripts. This is going to be so awesome. I am so excited. If I haven't said that enough times already. But this one is, yeah, so good. We got to figure out the rules a little bit more. So this section right here is the main bit we got to figure out, I think. I'm pretty sure if we just change this, then I should be at a point where I can say, okay, when I want to deploy the AJ development environment, if we just make sure that sub is set to AJ, then I'll do aj.example.com. If we want to do Joe, then it becomes joe.example.com. I think just my sub is all we need there. And then we can have branches deploying, auto deploying. Yes, Honene?
I'm just returning stuff.
Oh, I see you have my power tools. Well, when the wife's got the power tools out, it's time to go. She's so shy about the camera and the microphone.
Huh?
Said so shy about the camera and the microphone. I'll be up in my room, quietly pretending that I don't exist.
Stop talking to yourself.
It's the whole audience, honey. It's the internet. Okay, anyway. Thumbs up if you got them, if this was useful for you at all, or if you enjoyed my commentary or my face. Thumbs down otherwise. And subscribe, click all the things. Oh, my wife. Hey, Dilarn. How's it going? Yeah, that's my wife. My wife, she likes to take on projects, as we all do. And tonight her project is rearranging the entire living room and everything about it. And yeah, so she's doing that. Anyway, but yeah, it's time for me to head out. So we'll see on Thursday. On Thursday, I think I'll be able to do a recap of what I do tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm not going to be able to stream finishing this up. But basically, we've got the scripts here, and for funsies, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put this in a gist, and I'm going to link it out so that y'all can have it if you want it. Obviously, well, I mean, there's not too many things that need to be done differently here, really. So we're going to do Git Deploy Digital Ocean Godaddy.md. And we'll make this a nice public gist for all to see. And I'll move this to a blog at some point, but then what I'll do, typically when I do that sort of thing, is I'll change the name of this to moved to, and then give the URL. But for now, I'll tell her. I'll tell her you say hey. All right. Tonight's work. There we go. All right. Anyway, so click all the things, subscribe all the things, thumbs up all the things, all the things, all the things, all the actions, all the things. And you have a wonderful day, night, morning, noon, whatever it is, wherever you are. Adios. Yes, this is DigitalOcean specific, and it's also GoDaddy specific, but you can see the bits where the domains are in there, and you could change them. But if you create, I should put, hold on, let me put the example. Let's put in the example.env here. Let me do that real quick. We'll do example.env. Badaloot. Badaloot. Okay, updated. So, and I don't recommend using GoDaddy. It's just when no one's around to tell someone not to use GoDaddy, that's what they end up using. Name.com. And I think I even have an affiliate link for name.com. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you a discount. But I think in the description, you should find that. There is an affiliate link with a discount for DigitalOcean in the doobly-doo on YouTube. So if you flip on over to the CoolAge86 YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/CoolAge86, then you will, it's basically 60 days or $100, whichever comes first, free. All right. Adios.